In the beginning, there was nothing. Then, there was a duck. Or was it an egg? Nope, nope, nope. Not doing this bit. The duck came first. How do I know that? Because I'm the narrator, and it's my story. So, the duck came first into the great expanse of empty possibility, and the almighty mallard in the sky laid an egg. Yes, I'm aware this is a picture of a male mallard, and yes, male ducks don't lay eggs. They also don't have long flowing gray beards. Look, this is a creation myth about a waterfowl bringing the known universe into existence. Gender norms haven't been created yet. Again, my story, my rules. As I was saying, the duck laid an egg, and the duck cared for the egg, eagerly awaiting the day of its hatching. But creation cannot exist without destruction. Hope cannot exist without doubt. And a pond with a duck cannot exist without a jerk goose to ruin everyone's day. For when the mallard appeared in the void, so too did the foulest fowl to ever exist honk itself into being. And when it saw the precious effort the duck was pouring into the egg, it grew jealous and could think only of ruining all of the duck's work. The goose bided its time until the 7th day, when the duck grew tired and stood up to take a break and stretch its legs. That's when the winged menace sprung into action, charging towards the prized egg and splitting it down the middle. As the guilty gander honked in delight, the duck returned and was heartbroken, seeing the egg's contents spilling out into the blackness. But the duck realized you can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs, having just created the concept of an omelet to make the metaphor work. And so it worked its power to shape the yolk into a pond. And from the egg white, they shaped everything the pond would need to survive. Earth, sky, plants, clouds, the sun and the stars, and more. From this treacherous act, the creator was able to salvage its work, and soon a more earthly duck appeared. And its name was Dan. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Rubber Duck Writing. I don't know where I was there for a while. All I remember is blackness and a terrible honking. I'm sure it was nothing to worry about. Today we're going to get started building the world my story will take place in. And I figured the best place to start would probably not be the world itself, but the space the world takes place in. And by space, I mean space. You know, the one up there. This may seem like overkill, which, yeah, running theme on this channel, but I have a couple of reasons for this. As we saw at the beginning of the video, mythology is important to society's understanding of its place in existence. And what better place for early man to draw inspiration from than nature and the night sky above? Just think of all the myths we have in our world about constellations, planets, moons, comets, etc. So, seems like a good place to start for us as well. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to copy our own universe a bit. The solar system will exist in a spiral galaxy, just like the Milky Way. This means one of the features of our fictional night sky will be a band of stars like we see here on Earth. That's probably about as deep as I'm going to get into the stars for the sky right now. I'll probably play with constellations down the road, but in the interest of sanity and time, I'll keep that to where they're appropriate for the story or myths that are relevant to the story. Next step, let's talk about the planets we'll see in the night sky. How many should there be? There's no real answer, so let's just pull a number out of thin air. 7. Oh, that was easy. Again, taking a cue from our own solar system, I'm going to split these 7 planets into inner planets and outer planets. The first 3 planets will be smaller, rocky planets. We'll start with the one closest to the Sun, and I'm going to make it a kind of cross between Mercury and Venus. Roughly the same size as the story's home planet, but we're going to take away the toxic miasma atmosphere and make the surface more similar to Mercury's gray and cratered one. I'm toying with the idea of how hot the planet should be. I'm thinking it could be habitable, but it's going to take some work. We'll call it a handyman's dream. Next up is the planet our story takes place on. Like our solar system, this will be the only planet that can support life without any intervention. We'll talk much more about this planet later. For now, we'll call it Pond World. Third on the list is Mars, but totally not Mars. It's about the same size as Mars, has polar ice caps like Mars, may have once been capable of hosting life like Mars, but it's not Mars. Original planet, do not steal. The main difference is it won't be a red planet. I reserve the right to change my mind, but I think it will be predominantly a yellow planet with large white patches scattered across it. Here we'll toss a nice asteroid belt, and we'll make our way to the 4 outer planets next. If I'm being honest, I haven't thought these out too much, other than that they exist. For the time being, I'm going to use our outer planets as stand-ins. Like not Mars, I'll change the colors around, planet palette swaps if you will, but beyond that, I don't really know what I want to do with them. So let's add that to our world building blueprint for next time. And now for a little twist. I did say 7 planets, but it's actually going to be 8! Whoa! Slow down there, M. Night! This was actually the plan from the get-go, not just to screw with everyone. For most of human civilization on this fictional world, they will only be aware of the first 7 planets that we discussed. Come to think of it, some civilizations may only be aware of 5 or 6, but I digress. Once they reach a certain tech research level, they'll unlock advanced optics and find out that there was an 8th planet all along hiding behind the 7th. Similar to our Pluto, but I'm going to make it a planet, not a celestial dwarf. Justice for Pluto. Also, gonna make it with a larger moon, so it kinda looks like 2 planets. One thing you may have noticed so far is I haven't given any of these planets actual names yet. Again, reason for it, I'm not going to directly be the one to name them. Bear with me here. Once I start building out the different cultures and civilizations for the host planet, they'll start coming up with their own names for celestial bodies. And as they rise and fall through history, eventually one will be dominant enough to say, "Yo, we're the cool kids now, and this is, we're gonna call the planets by our names, alright, you bunch of nerds?" You know, kinda like how we decided the Romans got it right. Sure, the Greeks had some good names, but there's just something about Mercury that does it for us more than Hermes. Yeah, at the end of the day, I do decide the names, but my approach to civilization building will be to plant the seeds and try to help them grow in a way that makes sense. That's the general philosophy anyway. There'll be much more conversation about this later. I dare you to contain your excitement. For now, I'll make up some placeholder names so we can review. Starting off, we'll have a sun-like star in the middle. Our first planet will be Mercurnus. Second is Pond World. Third, we have I Can't Believe It's Not Mars. And now we're going to drop a little asteroid belt break in here. Fourth up will be Schmoopiter. Fifth is Lantern. At planet number 6, we have Butt Joke, followed by number 7, Neptune, I guess? And bringing us home is Chip and Dale at number 8. Oh, and I'm totally missing something important from the night sky, Pond World's moon. Yeah, that's important. I kind of wanted to do 2 moons like Mars, but I'm going to phone this one in for now and say it has 1 moon just like Earth. Mostly because I don't feel like figuring out how tides work with 2 moons. So there you have it, the solar system for this story world all mapped out. With that out of the way, we can move on to building out Pond World. Let's add a couple items to our to-do list for next time. At 1, we already have research interesting gas giants from outside our own solar system to give us inspiration for our fictional gas giants. 2, we're going to figure out the shapes of the oceans and continents for Pond World. And 3, we'll start populating those continents with rivers, mountains, and other features. And that brings us to a close for today's episode. Thank you all so very much for watching, and looking forward to rambling in front of you again real soon.
Quack.